CEO for Garden Harvest. It's so great to have you here. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Carol. It's great to be here, and happy holidays to you as well.
I appreciate that so much. So last time you and I talked, you were running More Alliance. We had done Detroit's Next Chapter, a special on CBS looking at the resurgence of Detroit, and now you're with For Garden Harvest. And what's that transition been like?
Oh, it's been exciting. It's nothing but thrilling, actually. I had a lot of great time in Brightmoor working with the folks over there, and I'm really happy to be at Forgotten Harvest. It's an excellent team, a very strong mission, and we're doing so much for people all around the region.
So for the one or two people watching who may not be familiar with Forgotten Harvest, what is it? What is the mission and the goal of the organization?
The mission of Forgotten Harvest is that we're dedicated to relieving hunger in Metro Detroit by preventing nutritious food waste.
And you do this by going to sources, restaurants, and... Yes,
Forgotten Harvest started 24 plus years ago. Actually, our 25th anniversary is next year, in 2015. And we started with our founder, Nancy Fishman, with her and her Jeep, going around to identify places that have excess food that wasn't meeting retail specifications, that they would donate to her cause to get to soup kitchens like Capuchin, right, or food banks, or places where people are looking for excess food. So we started that way all that time ago. Nancy's work escalated to a point where she was recognized by some local media. I think it was the Jewish News. Our first donation came in for a truck from an anonymous donor. We had a goal at that time for about 1,000 pounds per month. And last year we dropped off 48.8 million pounds of food.
I was just looking at the numbers here that you rescued 48.8 million pounds of food that you collected from over 800 sources and delivered to 280 emergency food providers in the region.
Yes.
So with the economy picking up a little bit here, is there more need for your services? I mean, we seem to have a lot of have and have-nots.
Absolutely.
A lot more people in need. And since you're dealing at the front lines now with this, how do you see it?
Yeah, you know, the reality is the uptick in the economy has not really hit every sector of our population. There's a lot of folks who are not necessarily homeless or at the bottom rung of our communities or societies, but there's a lot of hard-working families that are trying to make ends meet. And as the economy is rebounding, the cost of living has gone up over time. Our ability to be able to get fresh food for our families is increasing challenge for folks. So the need is still out there. It's still actually in some ways increasing, and the resources to fill that gap are actually decreasing. So organizations like Forgotten Harvest are even more vital right now to supporting middle America, not just those who are in the most dire need. And
you also have something called the Forgotten Harvest Farms. Tell me a little bit about that.
Our farm was donated to us 3 years ago from Nora Maroon. It was a gift that was inspired by her grandmother's continuous ethic and routine of giving to people in need. Miss Maroon got a chance to come and volunteer at one of our pilot farm operations when we were just doing farming in scattered lots throughout the region. And she decided that she wanted to do more. And she kind of thought about it and said, you know, I got a farm, and I can donate this to Forgotten Harvest. So she donated 150 acres to us, and over that 3-year period of time, we went from tilling 440,000 acres, 115 acres to a yield of 440,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
To the second year, 880,000 pounds of food. And this last year, we just closed out with 1.4 million pounds of food from the farm.
That's incredible. So someone at home watching, if they want to help and make a donation, what kinds of things can they do right now?
So you can volunteer and come to our warehouse in Oak Park, and there we have our processing kitchen where you can help us separate some of the food that comes in and put it in portions that are more usable for the food banks and the people that are receiving the food. In the spring, we're also able to allow people to go out to the farm and help with the sowing of the seeds, and in the fall to help with the harvest. But donations. financial donations are vital to our core operation because Forgotten Harvest is essentially, you can look at us as a logistics company. We pick up food that is available to be distributed for the community, and we get it to folks in need.
And I know if someone makes a donation there of a certain amount, that they get free Detroit Tigers tickets too going forward.
We have a number of incentives and packages to be able to make sure that the volunteer experience and the giving experience for Forgotten Harvest is something that people come away feeling good, but also have some benefit for themselves.
And since we're here in the holiday season, I'm assuming your donations probably go up about this time of year?
Actually, about 80%. Over 80% of the donations we get throughout the year actually happen in November and December. So this is a very important time for us.
Wonderful. Well, Kirk, you're doing some great work there. Thank you so much for being here. I know we're going to be running the website and phone number people can call if they want to donate or find out more about the organization and all the great things you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. And we're going to continue with more Michigan Matters right after